on their feet for the 7th inning stretch here at Yankee Stadium. Buddy Groom, the 5th pitcher for the Oakland A's. Will face Chad Curtis. He swings and smashes one by Spezio into right field for a base hit. Fans, New York Yankee baseball is brought to you by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. Chad Curtis is aboard. Scott Brosius to the plate, who has driven in 4 runs against his former teammates. Had a sacrifice fly, a couple of singles, and is flied out to center. Chad Curtis chased back to first base. The Yankees have gotten some production from the bottom third of the order. Curtis has driven in a run, Brosius 4, and Girardi's driven in a run. Runner's going. Pitches a call strike to throw to second, not in time. Chad Curtis with a stolen base. The Yankees had stolen 11 in a row until Strawberry was thrown out.
And they're turning into the running Yankees. We mentioned Joe Torre said if you see something, you get a jump, go. And boy, have I learned something about this game of baseball today, Kenny. You see Hinch's throwing the mask. Almost comes off. Curtis beats it easily. I was thinking back to the 5th inning when the Yankees, to the 4th inning, they were up 12-5. Knobloch was on first base, first and third and 1 out. And I said, he looked like he was going to steal. And I thought, nah, you don't want to do that with a 7-run lead. And then the more I thought, well, it's only the 4th inning. As it turns out, the A's came up with 8. So I don't think managers these days shut the running game down until maybe the 8th inning when they have a 5 or a 6-run lead.
Well, the Yankees trying to improve on a 3-run lead. Curtis at second with his 2nd stolen base of the year in 3 attempts. In fact, when he was caught at Anaheim, that was the 2nd Yankee to be thrown out stealing. Then they stole 11 in a row. Strawberry got thrown out to break the streak, and Curtis starts a new one. Here's our Toyota Yankees box score.
A lot of crooked numbers.
Wow. Just about everybody's happy today. Ground ball to the right side. Spezio will throw out Brosius, but he moves the runner to third. That's what you call a productive out.
Yeah, that should get some handshakes. Scott Brosius has done that twice today. Got an RBI with the sacrifice fly. And now, as you mentioned, the productive out forces Oakland to bring the infield in and gives Joe Girardi a chance to knock in a run and pick up the. We were talking about how wild this game is for an opening day, and just in case you think we might be exaggerating, Rick Peterson going out to talk to the Oakland infield and pitcher about their strategy. 75th anniversary of the opening of Yankee Stadium. Today is only the 6th time that the Yankees have scored double figures in 75 years. They have only given up double figures. This will now be the 4th year. So it is a rare occasion on opening day when you see a game this wild.
Well, Rick Peterson talking to Buddy Groom now. Girardi has driven in a run with a base hit. Maybe the word squeeze came into play. Girardi, an accomplished bunter. But with the infield in, and you hit the ball hard, it's going to get by one of those infielders. We look around the infield. Chad Curtis at third with pretty good speed. And the first pitch to Girardi is in there for a call strike. That's unusual for Joe. He's usually swinging at that first fastball.
Must have been guessing curveball.
There's a line drive. Joe Girardi's 4th hit of the ball game will drive into Yankees' 17th run. Good home opener for the Yankee catcher. Picks up his 2nd RBI. Is he?
Yeah. You called it. He said, I took a fastball right down the middle on the first pitch, but what does he get on the say? He gets a curve again.
But that was towards the middle of the plate, too. And he ropes it into left field. I took a fastball. Yeah,
that's a good look at it. That pitch breaking down and in, and you can see the extension of Joe Girardi watching that ball hit the bat.
Pitch for a call strike to Chuck Knobloch, who joined the hit parade last time with a base hit.
He was as surprised to do that as you thought he was. He gets down to first base and tells Jose Cardinal, I can't believe I took a fastball right down the middle.
1 out and 1 on. 17-13. Yankees lead. That's right. 17-13.
Really points up the depth of this lineup. Granted, they're not seeing, the top pitching staff in the American League, but they steal the bases. They get you paying attention to running the bases. They take a lot of pitches. They've drawn 12 walks today. See, this just works to Knobloch's advantage. I mean, Buddy Groom looking at Joe Girardi like Ricky Henderson's over there. That takes away a little of your concentration, and then Knobloch takes advantage of that.
Another throw to first. Then all of a sudden, you throw one of those half-hearted pitches to the plate and you're backing up a base. Girardi stole 2 bases last year, 13 the year before. Pitches outside, 1-1 to Knobloch.
And probably the 2 of the areas in this game that are, one of them is underdone and the other's overdone. Outfield positioning, which has improved a lot now with the spray charts and the sophisticated scouting reports. You can move outfielders around. Like right now, the Oakland A's really playing shallow and around to the right. Primarily, outfielders play too deep in the opposite field in general.
Smash but foul. Nice stop by the ball boy.
Yep.
Get his name.
Nice play. Quick reactions.
Yeah.
I mean, that ball was a seed hit down there. Good form.
First of all, you got to watch the umpire, make sure it's called foul, right? And then you got to make the move. That makes it tougher.
He's going to be talking about it tonight when he gets home. And there's the thing that's overdone. I mean, there are so many useless throws to first base. There's a time to throw over there, and if you got to move like Andy Pettitte, you can make it work to your advantage. But so many pitchers with mediocre moves throw over there so often they give the base stealer the advantage.
Count levels up at 2-2.
Best thing you can do if you're a pitcher in a base stealing situation is vary the amount of time you come set at the belt. Pause for 1 second and pause for 3, maybe 4 or 5. Try to disrupt his timing.
Ball hit back through the middle. Nice stop by Bornegel. Can't handle it, but Spezio picks it up for the force on Girardi. Kind of an unorthodox way to do it, but it got done.
Boy, this is some play. Rafael Bornegal's having a terrific game in the field. It looks like it catches a piece of Buddy Groom's shoe. Bornegal knocks it down, and then Spezio has the presence of mind to be there and pick the ball up.
Here's a look at Knobloch as he comes through with the bat. You can see that the head stayed in the circle as he follows through.
Boy, he really stayed beat. Now, since it's Masters week, you can certainly identify with the way those guys swing the golf club, but they keep that head behind the ball as Knobloch did right there.
Here's Jeter, one of 2 Yankees that doesn't have a hit. Jeter has scored a run when he walked in the 4th inning. He and Paul O'Neill, the only 2 Yankees without a hit. O'Neill has scored twice.
See if Derek turns it around this time. He has hit every ball to the opposite field. He has been beaten badly by fastballs today. Now he's got a lefty to swing against.
Knobloch certainly a threat to steal. The Yankees might think about moving another runner into scoring position with 2 outs. Knobloch has stolen 4 bases this year without being caught. Ball 1 to Jeter, I should say. Left-hander Buddy Groom, and Knobloch just inching away from the bag. Pitch is hit hard down the left field line, but it's going to be foul. I think at the right field line. Ball and a strike on Jeter. 30 hits in this ball game, 15 aside. Not a good day for the pitchers. Jeter swings, ground ball to third. Jack Boyd's first chance today, and he throws Jeter out. But the Yankees come up with a run on a couple of hits and a stolen base here in the 7th inning. We're headed to the 8th with the Yankees on top by 4.
Snapper's Grade More for 44 deal. Buy any new Snapper walk-behind mower and get any one of these handy Snapper accessories for only 44 bucks. And get more from your Snapper mower. More efficient grass collection with the Snapper bagging system. More effective thatch removal with the Snapper Thatcherizer. Or more leaf relief with the Snapperizer Leaf Shredder. Get more for 44 at your Snapper dealer today.
Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it.
Call 1-800-SNAPPER for the dealer nearest you.
At Nobody Beats the Whiz, the sound of spring brakes are more price breaks. Sony's 8mm camcorder with color viewfinder breaks the $500 price barrier. Nobody Beats the Whiz gives you another lucky break. Minolta's Sightseer 35 to 70mm zoom camera shatters the $100 barrier. And Sanyo's Hi-Fi VCR is just $147.77. Right now, spring brakes mean price breaks at Nobody Beats the Whiz.
Introducing Valley Sports Clubs, exclusive full-service fitness facilities designed for business professionals. Our sports clubs offer all the services and equipment that make Valley the most popular fitness corporation in America, plus special features like personal training and group fitness programs. There are already 5 Valley Sports Clubs open to accommodate New York business executives, plus more on the way. Become a Valley Sports Club member by paying only your first monthly payment at the time you join. Call 1-800-WORKOUT for information about our new Valley Sports Clubs.
Well, let's digest those numbers. 17-15-2 for the Yankees. Oakland 13-15-2. That's a total of 30 runs. You look up at that scoreboard, and we've been talking about what a wild game this is. Well, how wild is it? We could have the highest total of runs ever in Yankee Stadium in the history of this franchise. You have to go back to June 3rd, 1933, when 28 runs were scored. The Yankees win that one 17-11. So we've already set the Yankee Stadium record. Graham Lloyd pitched down and in, hit left field line, long run for Curtis. He's going to get there. Nice play. One down here in the Oakland 8th. But when the Yankees were called the Hilltoppers back in the early 1900s, July 1st, 1907, in Hilltop Park, where Columbia Presbyterian is located right now. The score of that game was 16-15. They beat the old Washington Nats, the Senators, 31 runs. So we could see today history, an all-time franchise record. Nice job by Graham Lloyd. He did his job. One down in the 8th. Joe Torre will turn it over to Jeff Nelson as Graham gets congratulations from his Yankee teammates. We'll be back on this historic day at Yankee Stadium when we come back after this.
Hey, Knicks fans, do you want to win big? At a Knicks game, you could be picked as a contestant in the McDonald's Jeep and Eagle Super Shot Contest. You'll take center court at the game, and if you're a good shot, it ends up with you cruising away in a 1998 Jeep Cherokee. Participants are selected randomly at Knicks home games. Call 212-465-JUMP, the Knicks fan line, presented by AT&T for details. The McDonald's Jeep and Eagle Super Shot Contest. It could be you.
History-making moments happen at Madison Square Garden. Now you can own unforgettable garden memories. From the fight of the century to the '73 Knicks championship and the newest sensation, the New York Liberty. The style, the spirit, the glory, the Madison Square Garden Collection. One of a kind or limited editions. Unique, timeless, treasured additions to any collection, reflecting moments forever etched in our minds from the world's most famous arena. And of course, they're authentic. They're garden guaranteed. The Madison Square Garden Collection. Garden memories you can own forever. Call 201-784-9600 for a free catalog or for more information. The Madison Square Garden Collection. Truly rare memorabilia straight from the garden.
On this historic day at the stadium, Jeff Nelson takes over in the top of the 8th with 1 out. It's 17-13. Again, we mentioned the significance of the run total in this game. 1933. Yankees beat Boston 17-11. That's the highest total ever until today scored in the stadium. Franchise history, when the Yankees were the Hilltoppers, they at one time scored 31. They could break that. And when you take into consideration just in Yankee Stadium alone, since it opened in 1923, my quick math, I don't have a calculator, but there is upwards of 5,500 games that have been played in this stadium. And that's the highest total ever. And we were there. We can talk about it. We are talking about it. But the relief corps has come in to restore a little law and order in the last part of this ball game, and the benefactor could be Mike Buddy getting his first big league win. A.J. Hinch has had a nice day for Oakland, the young catcher.
This is the Yankees' 8th game of the year. Jeff Nelson has been in 6 of them.
That's outside for a ball. Tomorrow's pitchers are flip-flopped. You pointed out Tom Candiotti, the veteran, will start for Oakland. Andy Pettit will try to get his first win for the Yankees. That's wide, 2-0. And you don't have to have a lot of complete games, but the fact that you mentioned how many games Nelson has been in, it is time. I think both these managers would say, go out there and give me about 8 2/3 or even 9 if you want to. 3-0. So Graham Lloyd did a terrific job, an inning and 2/3, no runs.
Jeff Nelson has such movement on his fastball. Sometimes it's hard for him to zero in on that plate and have that movement actually find a strike zone. There's one.
Yeah, it's much more difficult for a pitcher like Nelson to find that consistent release point than a more conventional pitcher that comes right over the top like Andy Pettit. Always seems to be coming out of a different area. Walk to Hinch.
Well, the Yankees have certainly been more stingy with the base on balls, but Joe Torre would, with the Yankees up by 4, he doesn't want to see many more of them.
Especially not at the bottom of the order. You know, you bring in a right-hander who can just, I mean, here's a guy that could dominate Frank Thomas, Jeff Nelson, and you don't want him walking A.J. Hinch. Now he faces Rafael Bordegal. You saw Mel Stottlemyre go quickly to the telephone. Would probably be for Mike Stanton. There's the breaking ball in for a strike. Saved the Wednesday night win in rather heroic fashion in the 9th inning. The Mariners had come within 1 on ex-Yankee Russ Davis's home run, and then with 2 on and nobody out, he gets out Ken Griffey Jr. and a double play by Edgar Martinez, and Mike Stanton picked up his first save.
You were talking about throwing to first base, concentrating on the hitters.
It's a knee-jerk reaction, I think, just an impulse that hangs a curveball, but he's going to get by with it. Bornegal does not have a lot of power, and he lofts this into medium left field. Curtis puts it away, 2 down. You're taught so much nowadays in high school, college programs, because there's more speed in the game. You've got to hold the runner on. You got to hold the runner on, and pitchers are just inclined to throw over to first base time after time and not really sometimes cognizant of who's on first base. There's a couple of the veteran starters that the A's have added to their staff to give them a little stability. Tom Candiotti on the right will pitch tomorrow, and Kenny Rogers, coming off his best start in quite some time, shut the Cleveland Indians down for 7 innings. And here's Ricky Henderson. On the run is Hinch. Girardi's throw not in time, and the A's catcher picks up a stolen base. Not even close with that high leg kick.
This is his first major league stolen base. in there easily. You can see that Girardi had a pretty good pitch to throw on, but just too much time to make up for the jump that Hinch had. Might be interesting to note here after this pitch that Ricky Henderson, of course, is the all-time stolen base leader with 1,233. The second highest career total on the A's is Kevin Mitchell with 30. So they've got a lot of young players.
That's another breaking ball. That's in for a strike. 1-2 to Ricky. There's Kevin Mitchell. He was in the starting lineup, listed as starting at DH today, last-minute scratch. You're right. Those hitters got a bat in their hand. Pitchers always fiddling with that baseball. Way outside. Girardi blocks it.
Trying to erase these last few outs off the scoreboard. One this inning and 3 more the next.
You mentioned Ricky's desire to pass Ty Cobb. He's about 350 runs shy right now of catching Ty Cobb in runs scored. So it's going to take Ricky a couple of seasons to do that. Lays off the breaking ball. The count is full.
And the thing about Ricky now, he can still work a pitcher for the walks, but I don't know if his hitting is up to the way it was when he was younger. And that might take a few times off base for him and make it that much more difficult to score the runs. Plus, you have to rely on somebody else to drive you in, too.
Hinch with his first stolen base is at second after drawing a walk, and Ricky draws a walk with 2 down. So missing with the curveball, and Joe Torre takes it all in stride, but you know inside he's shaking his head. Being a catcher, Joe's made the comment before, I'm a little picky about the way my catchers call a game because I was a catcher myself. And now that Nelson loses Ricky Henderson with a couple of men on, now he's got to begin to face the good left-hand hitters from Oakland. Ben Grieve waits on deck, and McDonald steps in now.
Well, you would think this would be a mandatory out. You don't want to get a situation with the tying run at the plate.
Breaking ball catches the corner. Strike 1. So many sophisticated scouting services available for major league teams, and they will tell you that Jeff Nelson probably throws more first pitch breaking balls than any pitcher in the Yankee staff. In fact, he's thrown the first 2 there, and they're both in for strikes. In the air to left. Curtis retreats. Ball's carrying. Gets turned around, but he makes the play. Adventurous left field late in the afternoon. It can be at Yankee Stadium. Curtis handles that one. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th here in the home opener. Yankees lead at 17-13.
This year, your yard may be full of barbecues, family reunions, baseball games, even a junior circus. For less than the cost of this newspaper, your Lawn Doctor dealer will help keep your yard green and lush. Get the healthy lawn you want for $29.95 or less, with all the granular nutrients and only the weed and insect controls your lawn needs. Only $29.95 or less per service. Only from Lawn Doctor. Nobody does it better.
Insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
Cavatelli and a zesty tomato sauce.
This is my son.
Zesty tomato sauce.
The actor.
We have a
He's going to be big.
with a zesty tomato
Very
sauce.
big.
Waiter.
Of course, it's going to take 4 years of acting school.
Excuse me.
At $100,000.
Hey.
That's $100,000. 5 zeros.
Good evening, madam. Ma'am. Ms. We have a cavatelli in a zesty tomato sauce.
He better be big.
Call for our new low rates.
There's a
team up in the Bronx that is really out of sight. They can hit a ball from home plate all the way to Jackson Heights. Every adult, every child, all the fans are going wild. Yankee baseball, where are you?
Well, a happy day in the owner's box. George Steinbrenner looking on as his Yankees have a 17-13 lead, with Charles Rangel at his side in the left part of your screen. We want to remind you that Sunday we'll be right back here at Yankee Stadium on MSG when they close out this series. The Oakland Athletics and the New York Yankees. Ramiro Mendoza, the scheduled starter for the Yankees. It starts with our Marriott Yankees scorecard show at 1 o'clock. Paul O'Neill takes ball one from Buddy Groom. Well, two hitters that are hitless in today's game for the Yankees. Paul O'Neill's one of them, Derek Jeter the other. Sharply again, but he has hit a couple balls very hard. That one right at Bornegal, and a quick out in the bottom of the 8th.
I've always talked about head movement, and you talked about it in golf, and the same thing applies in baseball. To follow the ball, you can't move your head. See, he's starting his swing, makes solid contact. Ball is hit hard, and very little does his head move. Paul O'Neill right on top of that pitch. You can hit him hard, but you can't guide him.
Good observation. He's had two good at-bats like that, and the same can be said for a pitcher. There's Bernie Williams now from the right side. You know, with all the gyrations and movement that a pitcher goes through on the mound, the least amount of head movement you have, the more you can keep your eyes focused down on the target, the better chance you have of throwing strikes. And I would assume the same true for a hitter. The better chance you have of making good contact. Outside, 1-1. Take a look at Buddy Groom. He's got those eyes focused in pretty well. Now, by the time he's let the ball go, his head is going to move. Sometimes you'll see pitchers cock that head back, and one eye is looking up at the sky. And if you watch, for example, a Greg Maddux, it's almost like you could put a glass of water on top of his head and he wouldn't spill a drop. Sharply into center, and Bernie Williams has a one-out base hit here in the Yankee 8th. 3 walks, reached on an error, and now he's got a hit to go along with it. And if you had one hitting hero in a 17-13 game, I think you're looking at him. The Yankees fell behind 5-0. They picked up 2 in the second, and then it was Tino's 3-run homer in the 3rd inning that tied this game at 5 and got him back into it.
Tino had only 1 RBI coming into this game. He had sort of a slow West Coast trip. All he needed to do was get back in town.
That's it for a strike. 1-1. The ideal way, I think, to open a season, it's pure fantasy because it'll never happen. They want to play exhibition games and pick up a few bucks on the way north. But you know, from being a player, you want to get home and get comfortable, get in your own home, your own bed and surroundings, be able to settle in.
Look out.
Knocked him off the plate. Groom immediately went to his fingers like that ball slipped out. I don't think there was any intent there.
Here's a look at that last pitch, and you can see Tino vacate the premises really quick. He's surprised how quickly he can move that head when you're in danger.
Hit well left center field. McDonald on the run. He's gonna almost run out of room, and he makes a nice running grab. Bernie Williams has to retreat. Deepest part of the ballpark. I mean, Tino hit that. He hit that as hard as he did the home run.
That ball kept carrying. You saw McDonald talking to Ricky Henderson. 3rd inning. This is the one that tied the ball game. 3 RBIs for Tino right there on the 3-run homer. Then in the 5th inning, Smokes one to the gap in right center field. Tino Martinez got one of the bigger ovations when the Yankees were introduced before the game. And here's that last shot. A lot of ballparks, this would have been another home run, but not here at Yankee Stadium. 399 to that area of the ballpark.
Good opening day for Tino Martinez. And now our first look at Shane Spencer. With Chili Davis on the disabled list, the young power hitter called up. Built a little bit like maybe a linebacker or a fullback, about 5'11", 195, and can jump on a fastball about as well as anyone on the Yankee roster. That's his numbers with Columbus last year. He's always been impressive in spring training with the Yankees with his raw power. Well, he was going to try to show it to us, wasn't he? Shane grew up in El Cajon, California, still lives right near San Diego State. Big Padre fan.
Big swing and a miss right here. Oh, if he had made contact with that. We had a shot of him on the bench in Seattle. He was wearing short sleeves because he's indoor. What is the saying go? Can Ben steal in his bare hands?
He's one of those guys you have to watch. You want to get in the shower before he does, because he'll turn those knobs off and you can't turn them back on. Remember Dave Nicholson had the
swish
power. Yeah, power hitter with the Orioles and the White Sox years ago. When he had a frustrating afternoon, he used to turn all the shower heads off and nobody could turn them back on. 0-2 to Shane Spencer. Bernie's on the run. He's picked off. But the throw is offline. They still tagged him. Nice play by Bornegal. Boy, he has had a great day in the field. And I don't know if Joe Torre liked that play or not. Looked a little frustrated by it. Yankees are 3 outs away from a home opening day win. And we'll have it for you when we come back.
Your New York Knicks. The Knicks are at the Garden to battle the Wizards after MCS Cannon Game Night, Tuesday night on MSG2.
If you haven't experienced Pasta Cucina, what are you waiting for?
I have one right outside my place of work. I have one right down the street from my house, and a third one in the shopping center where I do my shopping.
What I love about Commerce Bank, they have a lot of locations.
It's local. There's one in every community.
You drive down the street, you see branches everywhere.
The bank is 2 minutes from our house in the business.
There's bound to be a branch near you or one opening soon.
It seems like there's a Commerce Bank on every corner.
Whether I'm at the Jersey Shore or across the bridge in Pennsylvania, Commerce Bank is there.
Do commission-driven salespeople attack you upon entering their jewelry store? At Mamari Jewelers, our relaxed atmosphere, friendly and knowledgeable staff is there to help you. Whether you're buying bracelets, chains, rings, earrings, or creating that one-of-a-kind piece. For that special purchase of a diamond ring, choose from a full range of loose, mounted, certified, and non-certified diamonds at very competitive prices. Mamari Jewelers of Nanuet. We turn your fears into cheers.
Jeff Nelson 3 outs away from wrapping this one up. It would be the first big league win for Mike Buddy. If the Yankees could hold on, you say if, because they were up 12-5 when Oakland erupted for 8 runs in the 5th inning. So it's been a hitter's kind of day. 5,694 games played in this stadium. And this is the highest run total ever. Good looking hitter here. Ben Grieve steps in against Jeff Nelson. And the first pitch high and away is going back to that opening the season. And the Yankees will be happy to get a win and then get home, get some sleep. They're a little fatigued from the West Coast trip. But you'd love to come in, spend 2 or 3 days at home, work out in the stadium, and then go play either on the road or play right here. That would be the ideal conditions.
Kenny, you mentioned Mike Buddy's first big league win. When'd you get yours?
Right here.
All right.
Right here in 1960. Jim Lemon hit a 3-run homer off Whitey Ford, I think, in about the 7th inning, and Pedro Ramos came in and pitched the last 2 and saved it. That was a thrill. Good breaking ball from Nelson, and it's 2-2 now to Grieve. Unfortunately, in those days, for me, those Yankee teams were too tough. There were more L's than W's in the left-hand column when you face that team. Breaking ball out towards second. Knobloch is there. And a strong throw to Tino Martinez in time. 2 outs away from a wild win at the stadium.
Looks like Nelson got a piece of the bat and broke it. Former Lumberjack coming to the plate, Matt Stairs.
Designated hitter, Matt Stairs.
Matt Stairs, who was a big part of the comeback inning back in the 5th when the A's actually took the lead 13-12. And the curveball just outside for a ball. Mike Buddy would stand to get the win. Jim Doherty, the veteran right-hand reliever that the A's picked up, would stand to lose it. There would be no save. Jeff Nelson came in with a 4-run lead. 2-0 now to Stairs. Afternoon tilt tomorrow. Tom Candiotti, the veteran knuckleball curveball pitcher, will go against Andy Pettit. Fouled out of play. 2-1. Cleveland in 10 innings. They had led that 5-4. They had to come back and beat Troy Percival, the Angels closer. They win that one 8-5, and Randy Johnson and the Mariners are leading 3-2 over the Red Sox. Left field and hit well. Curtis on the run. He's at the track. Hey, hey, I'm telling you, he's a highlight film. He can have some fun playing that outfield. No pictures, just numbers, Chad. That's 2 outs.
I think he looked over at Bernie Williams just before he made the catch. Yeah, I mentioned this last year. You have to have center fielder skills to play left field at Yankee Stadium. A lot of room to cover. Bends over backwards. Looked like Jerry Rice hauling in a touchdown pass.
Great recovery.
Look, he almost overruns it. Gets that glove up just in front of his face and makes the catch. Might have been a little ugly, but the job was done.
So the A's down to their last out, and that'll bring what's left of this crowd of 56,000 plus to their feet. On a historic day, the highest scoring game ever in the history of Yankee Stadium. Outside, ball 1. It would even the Yankee record at 4-4. Another curveball in for a strike, a ball and a strike. That's Giambi's day. Good swing, and now they're down to their last strike, and as is tradition here at the stadium, they'll be on their feet. At the plate, still 1-2. Up the middle, Knobloch behind the bag, off balance throw, not in time. And Giambi has his 3rd single of the afternoon to keep the A's alive.
2 of his hits came in the 5th inning. When the A's batted around, they've done it twice. The Yankees 3 times in a game. Tough play for Knobloch behind the bag. I really believe this is the toughest play for a second baseman. Off balance throw, couldn't get it there in time. Giambi has his 3rd hit. And when you start out 0 for 2 and you end up with 3 hits in the ball game, that's coming back.
Jack Voigt now steps in. He entered the game as a pinch hitter for Dave Magadan. He takes the breaking ball in for a strike. The A's would drop to 2-5 in the American League West. One and one. Yankees had Oakland within 1 strike of putting them away on the West Coast trip. That was the game that Mariano Rivera had to leave with the strained groin. Oakland came back to tie that. The Yankees eventually won the ball game, and again the A's are down to that last strike.
A lot of movement on that last fastball to the hands of Voigt.
Struck him out. And the Yankees have won the wildest, highest scoring game in the history of Yankee Stadium. Here on the 75th anniversary of the opening of this venerable old ballpark. They fell behind 5-0. They came back to take a 12-5 lead. They fell behind 13-12, and in 5,694 games in the regular season, there has never been a higher scoring game at the stadium. So all smiles there, particularly for Mike Buddy. A couple of acrobatic catches by Chad Curtis, and Mike Buddy will probably track down that baseball, be able to say, yeah, I got the win in that game. Another look at the last out.
There's a pitch, breaking ball to the corner. Voigt is frozen, and the Yankees have their victory.
So the bullpen heroes today were Graham Lloyd and Jeff Nelson. The hitting hero was that man, Tino Martinez, his first home run of the year, a 3-run shot. Knobloch got in the act with a base hit.
Yankees are at 500.
Yeah, it's finally over. Took a little better than 4 hours, but well worth it for Andrew and the mayor and all of the 56,000 plus that came here to Yankee Stadium for this home opener. Always a great day to kickstart the baseball season in New York. 17-13, the Yankees win it. When we come back, Al Trautwig will have a special guest back on MSG after this.
Tom, where you going? Hey, we got a ball game here. Pardon me.
Pitcher got a rubber arm. It's has. Huh? Pitcher has a rubber arm.
If education is important to you, talk to your child's school about raising academic standards. Call 1-800-38-BE-SMART for a free booklet and be a big league parent.
Perhaps it was Dorothy first glimpsing Oz, the flying monkeys descending from the darkening sky, or the delicious demise of the Wicked Witch of the West. But whatever delighted you most, it's here, brought musically and magically to life. The Dime presents The Wizard of Oz with Mickey Rooney and Eartha Kitt in a special limited engagement at the theater at Madison Square Garden, May 1st to 31st, brought to you by Cold Ease.
Hey, Knicks fans, chart your kids' growth. Stop by a participating Sprint PCS dealer and receive a free Allen Houston growth chart with the purchase of a new phone and activation of a Sprint PCS service plan.
Well, better than 56,000 empty out of Yankee Stadium, and On our Jeep Eagle game summary, let's digest those numbers for a moment. The Yankees fell behind 5. They took a 12-5 lead. They fell behind again, and when you add it all up, 17-13. Mike Buddy gets his first big league win. Tino Martinez's first home run of the year. The highest scoring game in Yankee Stadium history. The A's blew a couple of leads in that one, so the Yankees.
Well, I wonder if this is going to set a trend for the rest of the year. The fact is that, you know, an expansion year, they say that offense goes up. We might have to see if this is an indication of what we're going to see for the rest of the year. We might see some records set.
What went up today is Tino Martinez's home run total, and he's standing by right now with Al Trautwig down in the studio. Al?
All right, Jimmy, big RBI day for Tino Martinez. First of all, ever won a baseball game 17-13?
I don't know, maybe in AAA when we played in the Pacific Coast League, but I don't think in the big leagues I played in a high-scoring game like that.
Okay, carry me through the experience, because that's what opening day is all about. Let's start it off with the crowd and how you felt and the weather and Joe DiMaggio and all that stuff.
Well, the weather was great. You like it to be cool because it's just New York and it's cool, and it seems like a fall day, like a postseason type of game. And then Joe DiMaggio's out there throwing out the first pitch, and it's a great feeling. And then you take the big lead, and we think we got them, and they come back, and you got to battle all day and just keep working. We played good, and we hung in there.
Weird game, right? I mean, totally weird.
Very weird game. The thing about our team is we have a great bullpen, great pitching staff and great bullpen. And it was one of those days where they just couldn't get anybody out. And fortunately, the hitters picked them up this time, and there's going to be plenty of times when they pick us up.
It's one of those where you scratch your head, though, because the team does have a good bullpen, and then suddenly you look up and an inning that David Cone, no less, started. They've got 8 runs.
Yeah, you know, no excuses or anything, but they hit a lot of balls and just found holes here and there, and that's what it takes. Those guys have some good hitters over there, and they find a few holes here and there, then they get a big hit, and score a lot of runs, so you just got to stay with the game every time you play out there.
What was it like in the dugout when they went out 5-0 in the second inning? You know, because everybody's so up, opening day, nothing's wrong, life is great, and all boom, place went.
Yeah, it quieted down. It was 5-0 right away, but you know, we swung the bat well in Seattle, so guys were kind of fired up. We knew we had a chance to come back if our pitching could hold them, and fortunately we had a couple big innings there.
Tino, one of the things we talked about in our broadcast was that you hit a ball that was thrown 73 miles an hour for a double into the gap. And we're going to look at your home run, which was a ball that was thrown at 90 miles an hour. As a hitter, how do you adjust for pitches that are so different in speed like that?
Well, basically, you know what each pitcher has: his fastball, changeup, whatever he may throw, and you kind of gear up for the fastball with the changeup in the back of your mind. And that was a fastball right there, and I hit it pretty good. But
how about this curtain call for Tino?
Yeah, you know, it was opening day.
You got caught up in the moment.
I guess you have to do it opening day. I felt like, you know, I don't want to show anybody up, but you know, the crowd wouldn't stop.
Now the team is 500. It has to be a little bit of a relief after that the 0-3 start out west.
Absolutely. We played well the last 3 or 4 games on the road trip, and I got us back in it. Could have been disastrous, but we knew coming home now, we get a couple wins in Seattle, we get on a streak here and get going.
What's the working theory as to no hitting is as infectious as total hitting?
Yeah, it's contagious. It's contagious. When nobody hits, everybody seems to try a little bit and press a little bit and do too much. And all of a sudden, one guy breaks loose, everybody breaks loose, and you start putting runs on the board.
We saw you had a problem with a ball at first base. Giambi had a ball with a problem at first base. Was there a sight problem, or was it just a weird bounce?
No, it was tough out there. The clay was a little bit choppy. You know,
it was.
The 4th, 5th inning, it was getting rough out there. And
here's one you got, though.
Yeah, I was in the air. Thank God I didn't hit the ground. But it was tough out there. It was choppy in the middle of the game there. The grounds crew wasn't able to water the field because it's been covered the last few days. But it's usually a great field to play on.
Okay, so is there anything that we've learned about this Yankee team now through 8 games?
Well, obviously we never give up. We have great pitching and good hitting, and we have to win games like this. Sometimes, you know, the pitching staff's going to give it up, and we have to pick them up. And other days, we're not going to score many runs, and they got to shut them down. So it's going to be a good team that battles through 9 innings.
Thanks a lot, Tino.
No problem.
20 RBIs today for you?
I wish.
It was a bunch. Last I checked, it was 5, maybe 6. I'm not sure. Tino Martinez helping the Yankees to a 17-13 victory today. The most runs ever scored in the history of Yankee Stadium. That is saying a mouthful like no other mouthful in baseball. Our post-game coverage is just getting started. Our thanks to Tino Martinez. Back in a moment.
At Nobody Beats the Whiz, the sound of spring breaks are more price breaks. Sony's 8mm camcorder with color viewfinder breaks the $500 price barrier. Nobody Beats the Whiz gives you another lucky break. Minolta's Sightseer 35 to 70mm zoom camera shatters the $100 barrier. And Sanyo's Hi-Fi VCR is just $147.77. Right now, spring breaks mean price breaks at Nobody Beats the Whiz.
Snapper walk-behind mulching mowers. Get the quality you expect for a price you wouldn't. Check out Snapper's new 5-horsepower push mower for under $300. Or be kind to your lawn and yourself with our self-propelled 6-horsepower mower for under $400. These durable mowers have powerful engines and broad 21-inch mowing deck. So hurry to your local Snapper dealer now to get the best for less.
Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it.
Call 1-800-SNAPPER for the dealer nearest you.
New York Yankees baseball on MSG. The Yanks battle the A's after New York City Marriott scorecard. Sunday on MSG.
We now take you live.
Color is critical. So don't talk to me unless you can match the color I want every time, every can. Don't talk to me about paint if it doesn't look and feel like this. Don't talk to me about paint prices if I can't get the color and the help that I want. All the pros will tell you doing it right the first time costs less than doing it over. Do not talk to me about paint unless you're a Benjamin Moore dealer talking about Benjamin Moore paint, because now you're talking about the best for my house.
Elmer Paint Supply, Spring Valley, Suffern, and Pomona.
#1 Schultz Ford is the truck authority. At Schultz Ford, every vehicle is marked down every day. No matter what kind of truck you're looking for, see #1 Schultz Ford. Rangers, Econolines, F-150s, F-250s, rack trucks, dump trucks, diesels, plus one of the largest selections of Explorers and Expeditions in America. Every single one marked down. Save thousands. #1 Schultz Ford is the truck authority, not one or two low-price specials like other dealers. The Schultz Markdown. #1 Schultz Ford in Nanuet. You're really gonna love us.
How you dress reflects the way you look. How you look reflects the way you feel. And the way you feel about your car's appearance is a reflection on you. At Z-Bar Tidy Car, we carry and install every part and accessory to protect and personalize your vehicle. Assume a new image. Drive into Z-Bar Tidy Car today and drive away from the crowd.
13 Yankees on this historic day in the highest scoring, wildest game in Yankee Stadium history. So you look through those numbers and you say, is there a key play? Is there something that turned it around? What about from a hitting standpoint? What probably the obvious stands out?
Yeah, we just saw Tino on the post-game show, and I think the big hit by Tino Martinez, the 3-run homer that tied the game. At that point, things hadn't been going right for the Yankees, and I felt that all along, if you can get to the A's bullpen, after all, they had the highest ERA in baseball last year, and they can't improve all that much in one season. So you figure you have a chance to get back in the ball game and then go from there. And that's exactly what the Yankees did. I had a feeling no matter how many runs the A's scored today, the Yankees were capable of scoring more.
And the A's pitching staff, as they did last year, walked a lot of hitters. I think they walked a dozen when it was all totaled up. But yet, from a pitching standpoint on the Yankees half, it was Graham Lloyd and Jeff Nelson coming in. Darren Holmes had a chance to do it. He sputtered a little bit. Mike Buddy got the win, but he didn't pitch flawlessly. But it was really Graham Lloyd and Jeff Nelson that came in and shut the door from a pitching standpoint.
Yeah, veterans out of the bullpen. Joe Torre's going to have to rely on these guys to close out some ball games with Mariano Rivera being down. And I think they realize this, and they know that they're going to have a chance to seize the opportunity. Graham Lloyd had a very good outing today.
We see it so often in baseball. 17-13 today. 2-1 tomorrow. The Yankees need a well-pitched game. So does Oakland.
Yeah, well, Tom Candiotti, he's the type of guy who shut things down with that knuckleball in particular. But he's more than a knuckleball pitcher. He will throw an occasional fastball, has a very good curve, and certainly has a veteran presence on the mound for the Oakland A's. And Andy Pettitte, of course, he wants to get into the win column. Yeah. He wants to get out there after an 0-2 start on the West Coast and pitch a good ball game for the Yankees and their fans.
Yeah, this guy is not used to losing, and he doesn't like to lose. Andy Pettitte, looking for his first win of 1998, will start for the Yankees tomorrow afternoon. So the Yankees win at 17-13. Mike Buddy picks up his first major league win in this wild affair here on opening day. Well, coming up next is the Jeep Eagle post-game report with Al Troutwig and Michael Kay. You can join us on Sunday right here on MSG, the series finale, the Oakland Athletics and the Yankees. It starts with our New York City Marriott's Yankees scorecard show at 1 o'clock. Ramiro Mendoza will pitch for the Yankees in that one. Joe D got it all started for the 5th year in a row. He threw out the first pitch. Tino Martinez talked about what a thrill that was. And it must have inspired him. His 3-run homer tied this game at 5 after the Yankees had fallen behind 5-0. A lot of smiles on that bench for Eddie Caginelli, Leon Schweier, Bill Webb, Kenny Singleton. Jim Cott saying so long from the stadium.
Joey,
54 points tonight. How'd you do it?
What can I say? You know, I was in the zone. Everything was just dropping for me, you know.
That three-pointer at the buzzer. Here, we have it on tape. Take a look. You must have been 30 feet out.
Look, I just put the ball up and just hope for the best.
You're an inspiration to us all, Joey.
Oh, I'm just out there trying to do what I can to help the team.
When you get the New York Knicks credit card from American Express, it's almost like you're part of the team. You get special treatment at the Garden, like discounts on Knicks merchandise, discounts at Garden restaurants. And every time you use the card at the Garden and everywhere else, you have a chance to win great prizes like club seats to a Knicks game. Plus, you'll get American Express service worldwide, all with no annual fee, ever. So call 1-800-KNICKS now and apply for the New York Knicks credit card from American Express. And join the team.
So, Joe, you ready for the playoffs?
Oh, bring them on, man. Bring them on.
American Express helps Knicks fans do more.
New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by the Dime, the bank that's with you all the way. By the 68,000 professionals at Delta Airlines. By the Discover Card. By your Tri-State GMC dealers, comfortably in command. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers.
Now is the perfect time, and the season is just right. You can play all day and dance into the night. At beautiful Mount Airy Lodge, all you have to bring is your love of everything.
Call 1-800-441-4410.
All you have to bring is your love of everything. Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge.
Want to score on the net just like the great one? The New York Rangers and IBM have the solution. Just check out the coolest game on the web, the IBM Rangers Internet Shootout. Test your skills at hockey trivia. Answer correctly, you get to score a goal or make a great save for the Rangers. You could win valuable Rangers merchandise and get your name posted on our leaderboard. Check out the IBM Rangers Internet Shootout on the web at www.nyrshootout.com and take your shift with the Rangers in cyberspace.
This is the Jeep and Eagle post-game report. It's brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. Just when you thought it was safe to say everything that could possibly happen at Yankee Stadium has happened. Wrong. This has never happened. 30 runs in a ball game in 75 years of Yankees baseball. 17-13. The Yankees survive in front of 56,700 and change on opening day 98. Mike Buddy just in the right place at the right time to earn the win. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Troutwig. You know, not only baseball in 75 years here at Yankee Stadium, many great bouts. And if this was a boxing match, here's what happened. You see the A's strike with a big shot to the midsection, but the Yankees are so strong they battle back, not with one shot, but with two shots to come back and tie, take a little lead, and then lead 12-5. But the A's have plenty of muscle, so they come back with a big punch of their own, 8 runs in the 5th inning. But then when the Yankees, the stronger team, came back with the last punch, the A's had nothing to respond with. And so let's go now to the highlights on how the Yankees won today on opening day. Great moment, as always, Joe D for a 5th consecutive opening day. He threw a strike to Joe Girardi. Now, second inning, Ben Grieve lines a single to right off David Cone, driving in 2. It was 5-0 after an inning and a half. In the bottom of the 3rd, the Yankees needed some help, and Tino Martinez drives in a 3-run home run that tied the game at 5. But the A's came right back after the Yankees made it a 7-5 ball game. Dave Magadan hits an RBI single in the 5th. That capped an 8-run 5th inning. A's up 13-12. The stadium was stunned, but the Yankees come right back. Tino to the gap. That drives in 2 more. And there's that last punch for the Yankees. 14-13, that made the score. They went on. The A's never scored after that. The Yankees got some defense, too, to help out the pitching staff. And, boy, the pitching staff needed some help today. This is center field. This is Bernie Williams coming on. That's a great catch. Yankees win the ball game here on opening day. The final 17-13, 16 hits apiece. When we come back, Michael Kay will have emerged from the Yankees clubhouse, as beautiful as it is. Meanwhile, the traffic is as you might expect on opening day.
You are watching the Jeep and Eagle Post-Game Report, brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Go get help, boy. Hurry.
Good dog.
Your New York Knicks. The Knicks are at the Garden to battle the Wizards after MCS Cannon Game Night, Tuesday night on MSG2.
First-rate service. It's delivered first thing.
First, with all the information I need.
Subscribe or renew by credit card and get a 30-minute phone card free. Call today for details. 1-888-GANNETT.
It's all there. Local sales, the coupons, big savings.
It's a great value. I'm even talking to you for free.
Subscribe or renew by credit card and get a 30-minute phone card free. Call today for details. 1-888-GANNETT.
Want a more healthy lifestyle? One stop, once a week is all it takes at Back to Earth, your health food supermarket. Get the picture? We're big. Big on selection and savings on everything that's healthy for you. Like our huge selection of organically grown fresh produce. The largest collection of discount vitamins and herbs around. Back to Earth has everything, from breakfast to dinner to snacks, from frozen to packaged to prepared. For good foods with good health in mind, it's Back to Earth. South Main Street, New City.